Hello everybody. Today I'd like to do a brief demo on how to make a Repousse mandala out of the repurposed aluminum cans. So for the circular design, you need to make sure you are working with a big can. You got to get a big can to do this project so you have the largest surface area. You cannot do this very easily out of a small can or even the 12-ounce can. You need a really big tall boy. All right, so you're going to cut it open, and when I cut things open, I usually cut right along this UPC code and the nutrition facts because that's a part that I'm not going to need, but you're going to do that. All right, so you've got your piece of metal. The next thing you need to do is to figure out the biggest circle you can get out of your metal. So I dug around in my cupboard for a little bit and found some bowls. If you have a compass, use a compass, but I know some of you don't have compasses and protractors, so here's something you can do. I just found a little kitchen bowl, and this kitchen bowl will fit great on my metal with about 1/4 of an inch on either side. I need a little extra on either side because I'm going to fold it over when I'm all done to finish my design and make a really beautiful medallion. All right, so I've got my can, and then I would, on the back side, I would trace around my metal with a dull pencil, and you're pressing firmly. I am working on this is a placemat. It's like an old kid's placemat. It's nice and spongy, but you could work on a dishcloth as well, or a dish towel or a washcloth, whatever you have. But this is, I discovered this placemat would work really great. It's nice and squishy. It's kind of foamy. Okay, so I'm going to press really hard around there, and I've got my circle. Then I can transfer my design. Okie doke. So here's my design. It's not totally finished, but I've got half of it made, and I'm going to show you how I did this. So just like I did on the aluminum, I took a piece of paper, I laid my bowl down, and I drew around it. I traced right around it to get a really nice circle. Right. I cut that out, cut out my circle. And then to find the center, I told some of you on your design work you needed to make sure you had the center, and you might not have a compass to mark the center. So here's a very simple way to mark the center. Just fold your paper in half, fold your circle in half, fold your circle in half again, or you could do it in the thirds, whatever you want, but half again. If I did it in thirds, I just need to make sure I got equal thirds. Quarters are easier. Okay, and right there, I immediately know where my center is, and I can build my radial design away from the center so that it's not off in a weird spot. All right, so radial design, that's what you're working on. So right there. You can divide this again if you wanted to into sections like this. This will give me 8. Some of you had really nice designs with 4 quadrants, or 4 sections, but if you want 8 sections, or I could divide that into thirds and I could get 6 sections. All right, so that's how you divide it up. So for my design, once I had my paper folded like that, I drew the design in one section. I opened it up and I drew the design in one section. And I inked it. Then I took it to the window with it folded, and I just traced the next section through the light at the window. And then I folded it again, and I traced it, and I kept tracing and flipping and opening against the window, and eventually I've gotten all my sections exactly the same. Right, so I could do the last little bit, take this to the window, trace it, and get my design all really nice and symmetric. Okay, that's really fun. Look how that's connecting. I got this great row of eyeballs. I love eyeballs. All right, so there's my design. Okay, I'm going to transfer this to the metal, and I usually tape things down, tape and transfer from the back. So I would use my masking tape, tape it down, transfer it, and then repousse as you have been doing and been practicing. So you're going to remember my repousse sample here. You're going to repousse your image. You need to make sure when you're repousseing and chasing, repousse is pushing from the back side like this paisley shape. I'm pushing deeply from the back side to get something to really stick it down, and I'm pushing from the top side to press down and make a really nice design. You're pushing lines in and pushing lines down. You really want this to feel nice and 3D and dimensional. Okay, so you're going to do your repousse design on your circle. You're going to have a really beautiful design. I can't wait to see them. And then you will go ahead and cut out your extra. And when you cut out your extra metal, you want to cut you want to give yourself a 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, whatever you have extra. But you want this little extra itty bitty part here because it's going to fold over and make a really nice clean edge. Okay, so to fold that over, here's what you need. You need a circle that is the same size as your design or your original design. This is slightly different, but it's all right. And this is just made out of a cracker box. I've been using this kind of, it's called chipboard, and it's just a really nice weight for giving your design some body and some substance and make it not feel so flimsy. So I have my circle, and what I want to do is cut kind of like the rays of a sun. I'm just going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut, and I'm cutting maybe every 1/4 of an inch or less, maybe even 3/16 of an inch less. I'm cutting all the way around, and I'm just going to make these beautiful like little flower petal fringes from the edge to the edge of my design. Okay, so you'll do that all the way around, all the way around. Do it first. Then you take your little template, or I'm sorry, it's kind of a mat, an under mat, and you will fold these back one at a time. And if you did them close enough together, you'll make a really relatively nice smooth edge. So you're just going to press down and really want a nice crisp circular curvy edge. Try not to let it be pointy, so pull them straight to the center. And I'm going to do some over on this side to get them to stay. Oh, okay, so this side I bent back and forth a couple of times, so they're snapping on me. So you really have it's a one-off opportunity. You can't keep redoing them or they'll break off like that. That was my practice, so it broke off there. Okay, so you'll do that all the way around, making a really nice finished edge. And then I'm going to use, this is the wooden handle. This is my knife that I've been cutting things with, where I've been puncturing my cans. It's just got an old paring knife with a really nice point. But it's got a really soft wooden handle. You could use another tool that's relatively soft. And I'm just going to kind of use that to press and push that edge in to see if I can get a nice folded edge. So you'll do that all the way around, all the way around, and see if you can get a really relatively nice smooth curve. Okay, so once again, you will do your repousse first. All of this beautiful imagery happens first. Pressing in, chasing from the top, repousse from the bottom, right? So you're going to get these great images. Then you can finish it by cutting a template, folding over, and making sure you got a nice pressed edge, and keep going all the way around. Alrighty, that's it for now. Thanks so much.